Is it better to be banned by FINRA or to be banned by life? Okay. Because Angela is letting us know that that is Kelly's position at this point in time, being banned in life. Okay. You guys let us know which one is worse. Now, I ain't gonna lie, one does sound like a lot more work. But anyway, we're going to get into why Angela feels like she believes she's justified in the beef between her and Kelly that is continuously going on right now. And of course, Kelly has a response. And we also got some tea on Kenya Moore. So make sure you guys are number one, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, hit that notification bell button. Also, listen real quick before we dive in. Yo, the books, the books, the books. All right. If you want to read about insane reality TV related drama, okay, behind the scenes tea of what's going on some of these reality TV shows, well, not really these, but this one in particular, okay, then you will want to get books 1 and books 2 because book 3 will be out in early 2027. Okay. So that's exciting. So, and of course, mine. All right. Just look up Richie Skye and the Wickedest Wives on Amazon, and you guys can get your copies there. All right. So let's get into this tea regarding Kenya Moore. Okay, so real quick, Andy was doing a Q&A on Radio Andy, and he was asked if he was thinking about bringing Kenya back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. No, he did not answer the question directly, okay? So there's that. But he did say this, quote, "I'm thinking about her all the time. I texted her last week about how much I missed her." You can kind of imagine Andy saying it just like that because he kind of talks with that like gravelly, like sort of like whisper when he's like up close to the mic. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, I mean, I think legally they probably can't right now for a couple of different reasons. Um, but do I think that she is missed on the show? I actually do right now. There is a dynamic that's occurring on the show right now that I definitely don't think would be happening if Kenya Moore was there in a full-time capacity. So I'm just interested to know how the dynamics would change if Kenya was there. I'm just curious. What do you think? Do you think the show needs Kenya, or do you think that Kenya is like just out of the picture for good and she's done with her time on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Or do you want her to be done? Or do you want her to come back? What do you want? I'm curious. And I'd realized that we also haven't had any more video updates from Kenya Moore. I would love to see more about what she's doing. I think Kenya is missing out on a tremendous opportunity to capitalize on her brand um, by not showcasing behind the scenes of what she's got going on. It doesn't have to be everything, but it can be just enough to keep fans excited. So anyway, that's just me. What do you guys think? So let's get into what Angela has to say. And in order to do that, we're going to take things over to our friends from Housewives, from a housewife. Okay. It says Angela fires back at Kelly, says she didn't send condolences after her mother passed, and more. Could this be the reason behind the season? Okay. Angela says, first, congratulations to Who is Gary on his victory, because we did tell you yesterday that Gary did indeed win. Baby, thank you for confirming I have my own coin. My 2 million plus investment property was purchased by me, has over 1 million in equity and is not in foreclosure and just underwent a $500,000 cash renovation. We also still own our marital home and rental properties. No prior evictions required. You wouldn't qualify. She says I may be banned from FINRA, thank God. Okay, so to be honest with y'all, I was like, what does that mean? I guess to be barred from FINRA means that a person is unconditionally, well, this says barred. So I don't know if we're using the same language, but unconditionally prohibited from working in the securities industry or associating with any FINRA-related brokerage firm. It functions similarly to a doctor losing a medical license or a lawyer being disbarred. That was from the Reddit. That's as much as I could glean from this whole situation. That could definitely, I don't know what led to that. Okay. But if that's not a business that you wanna work in, I mean, I'm assuming that it maybe doesn't matter to you. She says, "Thank God." I mean, maybe it was a nightmare. I don't know. She says, "But you're collecting bans from life. Gary, townhomes, HOAs, Navy Federal, Sandy Springs, Nana's Chicken and Waffles, and soon the location Drew didn't visit." I wonder what she does. Angela know something about is her restaurant closing? Because then she says, "I hope that ghost kitchen at Shamia's works out too, boo." The ghost kitchen. What's the ghost kitchen? What is that? Is there like a is she indicating that Kelly has a kitchen that she's running out of Shamia's home in order to maybe do a Meals on Wheels type of thing? I don't know. Is Kelly selling plates? I like a good plate. I do like a good plate. You would whenever I think about a plate, y'all, I always think about like I know I shouldn't think like this because I feel like a lot of like popular chefs can start in this way. But I always think for me back in the day about the hood, one of the hood spots, and granted, I ain't too far removed from it, okay? And you always knew who had the good plates. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I digress. This is not about me. Kelly had a pattern with me long before I responded. Side baby talk. Remember, she did say, "What about that baby, though?" I will never forget about that. So, but I wonder why Angela did not react to it during last year's reunion. I guess that's my only thing. The anger seems to be misplaced from some far off period in time, unless Kelly was antagonizing her a lot this year and we just didn't really see it. She says, attacking my marriage and money, calling me Bigfoot, laying on my back to get money, then accusing me of lying. You know what the problem that the only other issue that I have here, and it's nothing to do with Kelly. I think it is that people feel like Angela has way more energy for the two people who are the lowest on the totem pole with regards to their popularity within the group, right? And that would be Shamia and that would be Kelly. And when it came down to her issues with Portia, I guess the problem would be that she has kind of continuously made those jabs about Portia earlier in the season, but never really confronted any of that. And now I guess people feel like, and even me, I just feel like the energy just doesn't match, right? You still had issues with Portia because those things came out in your confessionals, but it feels like so much of this is delayed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Again, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I'll take the L. Okay. She says, a man doing a toast at her event to lie on my husband. Please. With this, I cannot, I don't want to talk about this whole situation no more. We dealt with this last season. You thought it was Phaedra. You went hard at Phaedra ish, kind of. And then you had to apologize for that. So, anyway, it says, yet you ask, who is Gary? Liar. Kelly, you did have to know who Gary was because you borrowed some money from him. Unless you called the Gary something else. Anyway, it says, finally, no condolences when my mother passed. I wonder if this is the thing that maybe had hurt the most for Angela. Here's the thing. I only asked this question because I lost a parent recent. Well, I mean, pretty recent in dealing with the effects of it for the past year and a half. And I would wonder, how I would feel, in that situation. I don't know. I don't really know. Grief makes you do and go through a whole path of things that you probably would never anticipate going through. So I don't know. All right. So it says, message received. My response didn't start this, it ended my silence. Now, she seems to take aim at the overall consensus about why she's doing what she's doing. She says, I asked one person one time, do you know her? Never asked for tea. I confronted that lot on screen. I guess my thing is, that's not what you said technically in the episode. And then what was the intent behind asking, do you know her? Like, I think we all know what the intent was. So it's not like I don't want her to play semantics. I just want her to own it. Yes, I went to go get this tea on her because she was coming after me. And I feel some type of way about it. I didn't feel some type of way about it last year. I feel some type of way about it this year because I reflected upon it and I thought better about it. And now this is what I'm choosing to do. I would rather her just say that, but whatever. She says, I never brought it to the group. Someone else surely did. At this point, if you are investigating her and they do find out about it, why would they not ask? If this is the case, then just don't do it. Just don't ask nobody about nobody else. Angela is sharp enough, in my opinion, to be able to take on any of these women in real time without having to reach into a goodie bag of tricks. I feel like, and I think that's where I want her to understand. I'm like, girl, you are too good for all of this. Okay. Not only because you're still arguing online, argue when you are being paid. Anyway, she says, but when I ask, it's investigating. It was. Or, well, I guess semantics again, but she says when they Google, dig, and pull records, as this liar just did, it's housewives. I don't think either one, I don't think any of it is housewives. It has definitely become housewives, but it's just not the housewifery that we like. Okay, this is not going to go down in history as an epic moment in Housewives. It is not, because it is not even happening on the show. Okay, that's what I need. That's what I want them both to realize. None of this is happening on the show. You're fighting on social media, and none of you are being paid. Okay, that's just it. All right. I mean, I guess unless you're redirecting that energy, if you're gonna say all this, I would prefer that she just said it all with a fan in her hand, a blinged out fan, because that's what they want. A blinged out fan in her hand, and just read the tweets, because then at least you can say, if you want to cool yourself off, get one of these fans, because right over here the tea is hot. Something like that, babes. Something like that. That's what I want. So Kelli, in kind of doing what I just said, is basically clapping back on her own. She says, I heard I was setting the standard again today. Well, since everybody's doing their quote research, you might as well research this merch. And then she tags cookingwithkelly.com. She says, thank you much for the love today. Use code fraudula for free shipping on all the standard merchandise. Now, again, listen, I think to capitalize on the standard is great. I would do a little bit more than the t-shirts. As I stated before, I would say fully commit to it and do something. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you something about business. Okay. Instead of doing something like this with the t-shirt, because the t-shirt can be bought one time. Okay. One time. Do something that people can purchase repeatedly. The standard body oil and mist. Never miss an opportunity to check a bee. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm just giving you, because here's the thing. When I run out of my standard body oils, guess what I'm gonna need to get more of? Some more standard body oils. Do that. I've been trying to tell these people something. Okay. That's just my thoughts. Okay. I want both of these ladies to win. I don't even think both of them even need to be going back and forth with each other like this. But unless it's driving business, unless it's driving sales, I always feel like when you have to go low like this, it don't really make it don't, to me, it don't make the kind of money that you want for the long run. But if you are tagging your products with whatever is going on, then that's going to be a little bit better for you. But if you're just arguing out here in the streets and you ain't being paid for it, then I need you to rethink your strategy. Okay? That's what I mean. And again, when we think back on iconic housewives, we won't think back on any of this. All right. And I want you guys to raise your standards just a bit. Do it in the scene, keep it on the playground, react in the now, not a season later, and stop bringing in all these extra folks. Okay? Because y'all making them rich. That's just my thoughts. Okay? Do it like they did back in the day. Keep it in the scene, keep it on the playground, and keep it pushing. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Make sure you guys click on the like button for liking this content if you like it. If you like the advice, even if you don't, okay? Just go ahead and click on the button. And it's free. Okay? It's free. And with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. And happy Friday. Happy Friday.